Hello, I'm Sim from Rental Milan, and I'm here with Johanna. That if I remember correctly, you stayed in Milano like 2 years or almost 3 years total.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
Almost 3 years. Yes.
Yes, and okay. And how was your experience generally in Milan, or why you choose to come to Milan to study here instead of some other place? Probably you had some other options also.
Well, personally, maybe my personal reasons were maybe a little bit different than most students, because I actually came with my current relationship brought me here, so that was the reason why I came to Milan. But also because I wanted to experience a different country and study somewhere else than in my home country. So I explored my options, and I'm from Finland personally, and I also checked the Scandinavian options, what's up there in Northern Europe, and I wanted to experience Southern Europe. So that's how I ended up here after a lot of different reasons actually. But
and you studied here the full course, or how you say?
I did the entire. Well, hopefully I'm not entirely graduated yet, but almost graduated. I did my bachelor in Cattolica, so the full 3 years undergraduate.
Can I ask what you studied?
Yes, economics and management.
Okay.
So the international course for that in English.
And how was it?
It was good. It was, I think, I know it's growing very much. So there were, during the first year, maybe a few, operational difficulties. Maybe they had some trouble, not logistically, but just setting up the course, because we were so many. I think it's a very popular course, and I think it's growing in popularity. I would say 30%.
Okay.
Yeah, and the rest were Italian local students from all over the country.
And maybe it's obvious, but everything in English, of course.
Yes, absolutely, everything in English, and they have several English programs, so it wasn't the only one, so you're able to get all the information in English as well. There were also some trouble with that maybe during the first year, but I've seen great improvement in this as well during the 3 years, so it's definitely much better level now. And
of course, in your case, you was here also before, and then you decided to come to live here for a long time and study here.
Yes.
So it's a little bit different.
It's a little bit different, yeah.
Okay, but can I still ask you that what was your expectation, and what was the reality to really to live here? Because it's different if you come here for I don't know a few weeks, 1 month, or if you come to live here. What was the expectation and what was the reality? Are they near each other, or I don't know how to say that.
I was positively surprised by Milan. As I said, I had been
this is good to know for people who decide to think if they come here or Germany, or for people there is many options if they come also from outside from Europe or just from Europe. They have many options where to go to school. We have many Bocconi students, we have Marangoni students, we have Cattolica students also few, and the Politecnico students and so on, but still I think people have options. So
absolutely. No, I think for living and experiencing
also for 1 semester,
3-4
months.
For 1 semester. No, I've talked to many Erasmus students as well that were here from 3 to 6 months, even a year, exchange
for 1 semester or 1 year.
Absolutely, and everyone has said the same. If you look at the bigger picture, Milan is at a really good location. If you just think about the city, at where it's positioned in Europe, so maybe
or in Italy also.
Also in Italy, I'm thinking if you're coming from, especially outside Europe, and you want to probably travel, you want to experience as much as possible, as a location on the continent, it's actually really good, and there are many communications from here to travel quickly everywhere.
To make an example, few hours you can fly almost everywhere in Europe, and few hours you can go with the train everywhere.
Or bus or anything.
In Italy.
Exactly, everywhere.
Few hours mountain, few hours in the sea.
Absolutely. So it's a really good location geographically. And also for Italy, of course, like you said, if you want to focus on
the lakes also.
Yes, it's beautiful around here. Of course, Italy has really a diverse nature, but up here it's. I mean, of course, it's similar to Central Europe, I would say. Also. In many ways, also culturally, which I think is important to note.
Yeah, because South Italy probably is a little bit different.
It's different, and depends, of course, where you're coming from, and not to.
And Milano is quite busy and international. I mean, the people they like that. I mean, I start to appreciate also after 10 years that it's. I mean, there is also a lot of history if you like history, but I mean, Milano is not too small. But not too big, and there is still everything.
Absolutely, and I think for young people, there's a lot of things to do, a lot of happenings around the city that's organized by universities, but also other
lot of international people, like Meetup.
Absolutely.
I don't know if you use Meetup or something else.
Honestly, it's like communities through university mostly that I've been hanging around and people through university, but there are many restaurants, bars, nightlife is good. There are many events all the time that's happening. Also lots of things related to fashion.
You studied some Italian or you managed with English everything?
I managed with English 1,000%.
Okay.
I've been a bit lazy.
And it's been okay?
It's been okay. Of course, there are certain, to be completely fair, there are certain
it's good to know some
bureaucratical things that might come up depending where you come from. Maybe you need to organize some paperwork, permesos,
living permit,
and fiscal codes and so on.
You need to be patient.
You have to be patient for those things a little bit, but even that has improved in 3 years, I feel like. So it's going quickly, the improvement. But it's not impossible at all. You just have to be patient with a few things and with maybe try to find some local friends.
Okay, and for sure you will find
Rental Milan.
Because
you can call them, guys.
Yes, Italians they speak. They want to speak English also because they want to practice. So you shouldn't have. If you want to find local friends, or it should be still easy because of course to find international friends, it's easy because there is always somebody in your country, like there is many international people here and young people, and I think also. To think about it as, I mean, if for young people, you were saying, I think for them maybe it's first time out of the house, maybe it's also for this like a first experience, it's good to come to Milano because it's not too big.
It's absolutely true, and I really think it's...
I don't want to say cozy, but I mean...
I mean, I'm coming from smaller cities,
yes.
So for me it's a city, it's a proper city, and it's not the biggest one in Italy, but it's definitely a big city.
And it's still compact, I don't know how to say.
Yeah, but it's, no, it is, exactly, and you can, without much effort, you definitely can get from A to B, and there are
and so many
bike rentals and all kinds of ways to get around. So it's really a convenient city, especially like you said, if you're maybe out from the house for the first time on your own.
Yeah. And parents are worried.
No, they don't have to be worried.
Yeah.
No one needs to be worried.
This is good to know for parents.
Yeah, no, really, and it's also culturally. I mean, after 3 years being here, I would say that the mindset is more Central European than Southern. I mean, of course, there's lots of Italian everything. No, but also, of course, Italians, which is amazing, and that's where people come. But in the sense of functionality, things I feel like maybe some people might have doubts on things functioning properly, having this thoughts from Italy before, but I would say that's not a problem here.
But example, the public transport in Milano is quite good, and the guy I interviewed also before about Milano Experience, he told that, I mean, it's obvious, but let's say, I mean, I want to make this example. He said that Milano is a busy city, so I'm not worried. I mean, it's safe because it's busy. I mean, it's not, I don't know how to say. I mean, there is work here, so it's safe also because of this. There is a lot of people, but a lot of foreigners, a lot of immigrants and so on, but there is also work. There is, and Milano is busy city, so he was here also a long time, and he wasn't worried. Actually, his parents asked him, it's from Hong Kong, that are you sure you want to come back or stay in Europe, because there is some other problems there now, than, not just the virus. So let me check one moment
of
if it's
course.
registering.
Check. Imagine in the
There is some minimum time of 15 minutes, there is still time.
Okay.
Or maximum time, and then
Yeah.
okay. What else? So you've been here almost 3 years, let's say. What was the process for you? If you remember, would be very interesting to know people who still need to come here to find an apartment for you for a long term, I think, or maybe first you take not long term, you find something, and then you came here and you started to look long term before Rental Milan also, and then we can talk about how you arrived to us also.
Okay, I mean, again, maybe my personal experience is slightly different than the average students, because I wasn't alone when I came here. I was with my boyfriend, my partner, so we were together, and he's Italian, so it was a little bit different. He had some contacts here, so we were able to figure out our short-term situation very quickly. So, but I would say from experience now, it's
still not easy, I think. I mean,
I was just gonna say that I had a very, very particular situation, and it was still difficult. And I do have to say that
sorry. It means that you can confirm that I always say that even if you are Italian, it's not easy to find a rental house here, especially for short term.
100%. Yeah, even for the full 3 years.
I mean, medium term.
Yeah, medium. Let's
because short, you can always go to Airbnb. You can book something for a few weeks. Long term, there is 4 + 4 years contract, and you just need to have time to see a lot of houses, maybe, and then you find the house and you can talk about your experience. But a medium term, that can be also 3-4 months, just 1 semester, 1 year, because the Italian standard contract is 4 + 4 years. You can always say that you go away before, like you stay 1 year, but if you already say it to the owner, and you should say it, many of them are not happy because they want somebody long term. And so I think you can confirm.
Absolutely, I can confirm that. And I think, as we said before, or I don't know if it's this video, but Milan is a compact city. It's not that big. And there are many big universities here. So the competition for student apartments or affordable apartments, small flats, are it's very high.
Especially if you are alone.
Especially if you're alone.
If you are with somebody else, also 1-bedroom apartment, if it's a good friend, or also 2-bedroom apartment, maybe it's not so easy to find, but let's say also 1-bedroom apartment you can stay in 2. You can share the cost, and it's 50% less. So if you're alone, small apartments,
And of course, you have the options of renting bedrooms, but I think,
it's not so cheap also.
No, I was just gonna say that I think that price-wise, it's almost at the same level.
It's still 700-800 a room.
It's very expensive, and for what you get, I would say, because I looked into those options as well.
They are not nice. There is something cheaper, but it's not nice. Maybe.
They're not as nice. Of course, if you have to start with something, you start with something.
Yes.
But if you want to
if you're lucky,
a little bit more comfortable,
if you're lucky and you can come here earlier also, then maybe you have more options to choose from. Maybe this is obvious, but maybe not, because people think, okay, I come here September, a few weeks in Airbnb, but then everything is already rented out.
I would not recommend that.
If you talk about students, and August everything is dead, so you should come here June, July. If you know, as soon as you know that you are accepted in the school, you should come here if you want to see the apartments and so on. I would recommend totally, but if you can't, there is a problem right away.
100%.
Or just book as soon as possible, even if you can't come here. So you can ask help from us, or you can book with us, or we have also more options available. Even I feel so sorry for many people, because we have so few apartments, and then we can't help many people. So I'm sorry for them, because they are in real trouble.
No, it is actually a big problem, and I really can't stress it enough that I would not recommend coming here with nothing, especially if you're coming last minute. Maybe if you're coming a little bit earlier, like you said before, and you have the possibility to stay in an Airbnb and actually see the apartments or the rooms or whatever you want to choose.
And they are still available.
And they're still available, then by all means. But it's a very competitive environment, and everything disappears in front of your eyes. You need to be very quick in your decisions if that's what you choose to do. But for example, going with Rental Milan option where you get it for 3 months minimum, right? I would say it's a really good time frame to start off with. That's the time that you would need, I think, at minimum to figure yourself out.
This is good point. Yes.
And then you can see what else you want to do.
Yes.
After that.
Or you are option to make longer with us.
Or you, as I did, for example. Yes. I extended because it was possible, and it is possible with you. So that was really great and convenient.
Yes, but if I can ask you why you changed the house? I mean, the owner didn't want to make it a little bit longer. That you need it a little bit longer, or?
You mean here?
That you arrived to us because before you rented something else, I think. So.
No, I stayed. That was a different kind of a contract. It was like an Airbnb, but it wasn't an Airbnb. It was something similar. So it was very expensive, and it was a short-term solution just for me to